What if death isn't the end, just the start of another round? Welcome back to Wild Wonder. Today we're diving into something ancient, mysterious, and deeply human: reincarnation. But not in the way we've always heard it. Imagine your soul as the player, and each life as a new character in the ultimate video game. New appearance, new storyline, new world. The setting changes, the challenges change, but the one holding the controller, the soul, remains. And here's the twist: each time you enter the game, your character starts with no memory. So, why does this happen? What's the purpose of forgetting? If this really a game, how do we play it well? Let's imagine this together. You're sitting at the cosmic console, picking your next mission. You choose this body, this time, this life. But the second you hit start, boom, your character forgets everything you, the soul, already know. You've done this before, maybe 100 times. You've learned hard lessons, felt deep love, faced fear, maybe even changed a story. But this version of you, this character, is starting fresh. That's not a mistake. That's the game design. Think of your favorite game. Now imagine a new level, but your character doesn't even know how to jump. No strategy, no memory of past battles, just raw experience. That's what being human is like. It might sound frustrating, but it's also kind of beautiful, because when you forget, you get to feel things for real. You laugh like it's the first time. You cry like you've never cried before. If you remembered it all, life would just be repeating the same moves. No discovery, no growth, no fun. So why all the forgetting? Because growth doesn't come from knowing how the story ends. It comes from not knowing and choosing anyway. If you remembered every heartbreak, every lesson, every betrayal, you'd protect yourself too much. You'd stop showing up fully. The soul knows, but your character has to feel, and feeling is where real transformation happens. But here's the thing: even if your character forgets, your soul doesn't. It leaves traces like breadcrumbs. Ever met someone who seems wise beyond their years? A child who speaks like they lived 1,000 lives? Someone who just knows how to do something without being taught? That's not just talent, that's experience from somewhere deeper. You don't remember those lifetimes you spent learning, leading, healing, but your soul does. And it shows up in what you're naturally drawn to, what you're good at, what feels familiar without explanation. It's not luck, it's soul memory. So if you're ever wondering why something comes easily or feels like it matters more than it should, maybe it's not your first time here. This isn't a new idea. In ancient India, they call it samsara, the soul's journey through lifetimes, learning and evolving. In Buddhism, they speak of karma, how our actions echo across lives. Even the philosopher Plato talked about the soul forgetting everything before coming back into a body. Different cultures, same thread. The soul is here to grow, life after life, lesson after lesson. No graduation, no boss, just evolution. But if that's true, why are we so afraid of death? Maybe because we've been told it's the end, like the game just powers off. But what if it's just the end of this level and the next one is waiting for you? There's a lot of talk lately about uploading consciousness, achieving digital immortality. But I always wonder, if death really erased us, what would they be uploading? A copy of your mind? A version of your memories? That's not you. You are not your memories. You are the awareness behind them. You are eternal. And let's be real, this tech obsession about eternal life is not about freedom. It's about control. If your mind lives in a machine, who owns the machine? Who has the power to change you, limit you, or delete you? Your soul doesn't need to be backed up. It doesn't need upgrades. It doesn't expire. You don't need permission to exist. You don't need a login to be free. When this life ends, your soul will move on. No wires, no cloud, no corporation involved. Just pure spirit, ready for the next adventure. Let's pause a second and ask something uncomfortable. What happens when life is no longer a gift from spirit, but a service controlled by someone else? Some of the world's richest minds are investing billions in technologies that promise to defeat death. AI, mind cloning, even the dream of uploading consciousness. But here's the thing, these aren't spiritual paths. They are systems, apps, code, terms and conditions. If your soul could be uploaded, who owns the file? If your mind lives in a machine, who controls the switch? Who decides when you wake up or if you ever do? That's not liberation. That's a contract. And if you're locked into someone else's system for eternity, that's not eternal life. That's digital slavery. The soul wasn't meant to be stored, sold, or streamed. You don't need wires to transcend. You don't need to be plugged in to be eternal. You already are. Reincarnation is not about repeating, it's about evolving. Each life gives you new chances to love better, live deeper, and learn more. You won't get it all perfect. You're not meant to. But every choice, every lesson, every tear and laugh, it all counts. And here's something to remember. You might not always come back to this level. If you've learned what you came here to learn, if your soul has gathered what it needs, you may move on to a higher plane, a new kind of experience, a different kind of growth. So don't play small. Don't wait for instruction. you're already in the game. And when this round ends, you either return wiser, braver, and ready for more, or rise to something even greater. Thanks for sharing this episode with me. If something in this episode has sparked something inside you, please share it with someone you care about. And don't forget, you are not the character, you are the player. Stay safe, stay curious, and I will see you in the next level of the game.